99 problems and I still kept it 100. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. They ain't covering my cloth, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 problems and I still kept it 100. Yeah, who don't play, boom, play, boom, play, play, who don't play.
Music licensing reimagined.
Play, who don't play, boom, play, boom, play, play, who don't play, boom, play, boom, play, play, who don't. Long time coming, like on the bottom of my feet from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling. Going from buying to selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Sun up the sun up from Monday to Sunday. We maxing the limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving the mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation. I'm finessing a visit.
Oh, what is up, everybody? Is my last look for UFC Vegas 108. We have Tatsuro Taira going against Hung Sung Park, and usually do the show before the prelims, but I'm not able to tomorrow. So I thought I'd hop on here tonight, take one last look into this card, and I'm kind of curious to see what happens tomorrow with the fight day line movement. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to breaking it all down. By the way, I'm really looking forward to next week. I've already taped 8 out of the 11 fights. We have just a fun card. Roman Dolidze, Anthony Hernandez is going to be a lot of fun. Steve Erceg, Odi Osborne is going to be a lot of fun. We got Priscilla Cachoeira on the card. We have Holia Stoliarenko on the card. I mean, it's going to be a fun card. So looking forward to next week in the Apex. And then we have UFC 319, which I will be attending live. And with my Uncle Weezy. So that's going to be fun, and definitely looking forward to that card as well. So yeah, a lot of things coming our way. Contender Series coming up. First card is August 12th. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, a lot of good things to look forward to as MMA fans. I know PFL is going on right now. Looks like the main event is going to kick off in a little bit. Was hoping to get PFL done before I went live, but the pacing of PFL is just awful, and yeah, you can never count on them. But what is up, everybody in the chat? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to a fun Apex card. I like Apex cards because typically I have the most success with Apex cards. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a small cage or what, but the Apex has done me really, really well. Abu Dhabi cards have not, but Apex cards, they've done me really, really well. We got Forrest in the building. First comment, I'm killing it this week. Let's go, Forrest. I'm hoping so as well. A lot on the line this week. A lot on the line. Looking forward to it. Best of luck to you. We got Parker saying, I'm here for the piping. Yeah, there should be some pipings. There should certainly be some piping. I don't think there's going to be a ton of pipings, but there's going to be a couple. There's going to be a couple. Next week is the week of the piping. I mean, if you look at some of the next week's fights, there is going to be piping after piping next week. It's going to be ridiculous. This week, I can see a couple pipings here or there. Which one of you keeps throwing green dildos at the WNBA games? And yeah, my brother just sent me a link to that tweet, and that was hilarious. That was hilarious. They zoomed in on it. I think live. They zoomed in on the dildo live. It was ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, that was wild. You don't see that too often. I don't know how you can sneak a dildo into a WNBA game. I just don't get it. I don't understand that. We got Realist with the $2 dono. Appreciate you, Realist, saying, did you cash on Movlid? It was a plus. He was a plus 140 dog. Crazy. That is crazy. No, I was not able to look into the fights. I have to get ahead for next week because these next couple days are going to be really, 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 really busy for me. So I was taping the UFC Vegas 109 fights for next week. But I was not able to look into PFL. But yeah, plus 140. So I'm assuming you cashed in on him. That's a great bet because he went out there and dominated from pillar to post and got the 5th round submission there. So yeah, shout out to you for that. And anybody that was on Movlid at plus 140. I wish I would have looked into the card a little bit, but just didn't have time. We got Dr. Peener in the building. Always good to see Dr. Peener. I have a lot of respect for medical professionals. My wife is a medical professional. Dr. Peener is a medical professional, so I have a lot of respect for him and what he does for the community. And the penis is out there. Shout out to Dr. Peener. We got Remdog saying, "Sup, Brady? I feel like this is a card to eat some chalk." Maybe. I mean, the last 2 weeks, the dogs have been, especially last week. I think last week set a record, at least in the last couple years. I mean, I think it was like 8 dogs last week. The week before that, Kevin Holland dropped the ball as a big favorite. Dan Ige dropped the ball as a big favorite. Zellhuber dropped the ball as a big favorite. And Kopylov dropped the ball as a decent-sized favorite. So, yeah, the dogs have absolutely been barking a lot more this year. Like last year, it was all favorites. This year, a lot more dogs. But these last 2 weeks especially, it's been all underdogs. So hopefully the trend doesn't continue, but only for the underdog that I bet on this week. The rest of them, hopefully a lot of the favorites do come through. But yeah, I'm on a dog this week. Pretty unpopular dog, but yeah, the dogs have been cashing. Man, the video is breaking up. I hope not. I was just watching the Lambo Plays podcast. I don't know if it's like a StreamYard thing because theirs was breaking up too. Hopefully it's not a StreamYard thing, but it probably is. It's probably a StreamYard thing. It wouldn't surprise me. It's like 30 some bucks a month for StreamYard, and they can't even get their connection right. So hopefully the video is not breaking up too bad, but we'll see. We got Daz in the building. What is up, Daz? Good to see you in here. Wow, every stream been on this morning. Obviously, log issues, Vegas running scripts. No, it's just StreamYard being trash, man. I mean, StreamYard, they're very money hungry. I mean, I think I pay like $300 a year for StreamYard, and they can't even get the connection right. So hopefully it's not too bad. Need a winning card so we can hear Brady sing again. Yes. So the plan is if I have a winning event for this card, I will be singing Zombie by the Cranberries in honor of Priscilla Cachoeira Fight Week. And if I have a losing card, I might not ever sing again. I might never sing again. So hopefully can turn a winning week here. Pipe City. Does Duncan being way bigger matter for the Rebecki fight? Not to me, really. Not to me. Rebecki's not a big dude, at least in terms of height. He's a wide dude, but not a big dude in terms of the height. We got Forrest saying, Brady, who do you want to see Ilia Topuria fight next? Justin Gaethje, Arman, or Patty? I wouldn't mind either of those matchups. So it's not going to be Arman. It's not going to be Arman. Topuria said it's literally not going to be Arman. Topuria himself said it's going to either be Gaethje or Patty. I would like to see Topuria fight Gaethje, and I think that's what's going to happen. Because I also heard an interview with Gaethje saying if he doesn't fight for a title, he's never fighting again. So Gaethje's basically saying if he doesn't fight for a title, he's done. So I think the UFC is going to do that. The UFC is going to put together Topuria, Gaethje. They're going to give Patty one more, and then Patty's going to fight the winner of Gaethje, Topuria, which will be Topuria. So, but it's weird. I don't know what. There were rumors, and rumors are rumors, but there were rumors that Pimblett was going to fight Justin Gaethje, and those were never confirmed. And it's getting too late. It's just a rumor. So instead of Gaethje Pimblett, which would have been amazing, we get Aaron Pico, Lerone Murphy as the co-main event for 319. But yeah, Gaethje. If I had to pick one, Gaethje. Yeah, I think it might be a StreamYard. It's got to be a StreamYard thing. Brady, you're the songbird of our generation. You can't give up singing. We'll see, man. We'll see. Duncan has that dog in him. Got to survive the first 6-7 minutes, and then he takes over. Maybe. All right. And again, I know PFL is going on. It's probably going to go on. The UFC does this, but at the same time, I'm happy. I usually do my research, the week before fights. I researched as much fights as I could, and then this week they didn't have a main event up until Monday. Like Austin Bashi is like there's how many bantam Austin Bashi another opponent. I don't get that, but they're bringing in Giannis, and Giannis he's not a bad striker. The problem with Giannis is his takedown defense is just absolutely terrible. No takedown defense, no get up game. He gives up dominant positions in a lot of his fights. He's been subbed before. And I went and watched the Nick Aguirre fight because I wasn't able to find that fight. I had to actually look up the event on Fight Pass and eventually found it. And I was watching that fight, and it's like Nick Aguirre was arguably up like 3 rounds against this guy until Giannis caught him in the 4th. It's like that's a very bad look. I mean, Austin Bashi is a million times better than Nick Aguirre. So, I think there's a reason money's just pouring in on Bashi. And by the way, he opened up at minus 260, which is stupid. He's minus 950, and it wouldn't shock me if by fight time Bashi approaches the minus 1,000 range. It wouldn't shock me. And quite frankly, I wouldn't argue it. This is a fight where, Bashi needs to win this fight and win it convincingly. It's a fight that he needs to get back on track. There's a lot of hype on this guy. I was very hyped for this guy prior to the C-Rod fight, and C-Rod does what he does. He beats highly touted prospects, and that's exactly what Bashi was. But now it's time to take a massive step down from C-Rod and go out there and not only get the win, but get the finish. So, yeah, this is Bashi for me. And there's a lot of spots sticking out on this fight. So I have the Bashi under 2.5 same game parlay at plus 105. And I was also surprised to see the submission prop for Bashi's plus money on some books. It's plus 100. I think best price out there on a couple books. I think Bashi by sub at plus 100 is a great look. I mean, it's just hard to imagine Bashi not taking him down, taking his back and choking him out within the first 10 minutes of the fight. So, yeah, I like Bashi here. A lot of my night does come down to Bashi going out there and getting the job done and getting the job done violently. And quite frankly, if he's not able to finish and submit Giannis, then I'm just not really sure Bashi's that great. But he should. He absolutely should finish this guy. I mean, you're a minus 1,000 favorite. You should be going out there and winning dominantly. So, favorite spots here is Bashi sub, Bashi inside the distance, Bashi under 2.5 same game parlay. Yeah, Bashi should get it done. Bashi sub 1-2. Bashi should absolutely get this done. No excuses. I know there's been some big favorites dropping the ball lately. I know there's been some absolute shit game plans lately, but Bashi has no excuse for losing this fight and not finishing this fight as well. So, yeah, hopefully Bashi can start off the night for me there with the finish. Gaethje, yeah, he deserves it. Gaethje, he's a company man. He's been there. He's taken hard fights. He gets a performance bonus and damn near every time he's in the cage. Give him one last title shot, right? Yes, he's going to get absolutely destroyed by Taira, but give him one more shot. It would make for a very fun fight. We got Daz saying, Bashi sub, let's go. Ouch, FU StreamYard for teaming with Vegas. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it's better now. Crazy, the sub prop is minus 105 now. It's a lot better than I expected it to be. I was expecting like minus 150 for Bashi sub. It's just like a very obvious outcome. And Bashi decision, I hope not, because my night will start off very, very poorly if Bashi can't get this guy out. Hit the like. All right. Moving on against Ketlin Souza. So I didn't get to any bets here, but I do like Rodriguez a decent amount. Yeah, monies came in on her throughout the week. I wouldn't have minded her when she was a little bit better of a price, like minus 185. I probably would have played minus 220 now. Not sure if I love that. She has shown poor fight IQ in the past with that headbutt on the ground against Cornhole. But yeah, I think she should win this fight. The path is there with the wrestling. We saw Angela Hill go out there and take down Piera Rodriguez in round 1, and it just looks like Ketlin Souza, or Angela Hill took down Ketlin Souza in round 1, and it looks like Ketlin Souza just doesn't have much of a get-up game, doesn't have much takedown defense. So if Rodriguez comes in here and pretty much just takes her last game plan against Knudsen, copies and pastes that into this fight, it should be a clear 30-27 win for Piera Rodriguez, just getting takedowns. She has 15-minute cardio, and if this fight is on the feet, it's not like she's out of her. It's not like she's in big trouble on the feet here. So yeah, it should be Rodriguez. Didn't get to a bet. If money comes in on Ketlin Souza over the night for some reason, I'll probably hop on Piera, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt any money's coming on Souza. It's been all nothing but Rodriguez love this week, and rightfully so. And I like Souza. I think Souza is going to be decent. She's still young. She's improving a lot. Like, she's made a ton of improvements, but I just don't love this matchup for her. So I'm taking a pass here. I'd rather Gaethje stop fighting than Brady stop singing. Hopefully, well, Gaethje is probably getting towards the end, unfortunately. We might see maybe a couple more Gaethje fights. But yeah, I don't want to stop singing, man. I don't want to stop singing. All right, let's move on to the next fight. We have a cheater, Rafael Estevam, going against Felipe Bunes, the cheater. He's currently sitting at minus 650. Bunes is sitting as a plus 475 underdog. And yeah, a lot of money's came in on the cheater. So we knew this was going to happen. Estevam's taking the fight on short notice. He's not a flyweight. This guy's a bantamweight trying to make flyweighted. And I always talk about it. In the UFC, you're allowed to cheat. You're allowed to cheat. You're allowed to grab the cage. You're allowed to grab the opponent's gloves. You're allowed to put your feet in the cage, your toes in the cage. You're allowed to eye poke your opponents. You're allowed to miss weight by 5 pounds. Fight stays on. And what is the punishment for Rafael Estevam for missing weight by almost 5 pounds? What's the punishment, you ask? Well, he loses 25% of his purse. Like, isn't that kind of sickening? Like, he clearly cheated. It didn't look like he even tried to cut down to 125, 126. And he shows up and weighs in 130. Fight's still on and only loses 25% of his purse. You know, you might as well weigh in 5 pounds over every single time. I mean, if you're allowed to cheat, you might as well come in with a 5-pound weight advantage in all your fights. So, and that's what he did. He's smart. We can't blame him if he's only losing 25% of his purse for a massive advantage. We can't blame him at all. So, and I do, by the way, think the 5-pound advantage heavily helps Rafael Estevam, who's a grappler. And I think Estevam's actually pretty good as well. And what I like about Estevam, just in general, is we've seen a lot the last couple weeks, these grapplers who are grapplers forget how to grapple. It's the most bizarre thing. It's the most bizarre thing to me. Like, you grapple your entire career, and then all of a sudden you don't anymore. Like, it's bizarre, and it's been happening more and more. I'm not sure if the UFC is telling these grapplers to, because there was a rumor that the UFC was telling guys, hey, don't wrestle, don't grapple. And we never confirmed or denied that rumor, but it's kind of what it's looking like as of late, right? Like, these grapplers that have significant advantages on the mat, they're going out there and not even attempting takedowns. It's the weirdest thing to me, but you don't have to worry about that with Estevam. Estevam is a pure grappler. He's not going to strike. He's going to go for takedowns, and he's probably going to go for a takedown within the first 15 seconds of this fight. So that's what I like about Estevam. Even if the UFC did say, hey, Estevam, don't go out there and grapple, man. Don't do it. He's going to grapple. He has to. He needs to. So I like that. And a sneaky spot I like here is the fight doesn't go to decision. The fight ends by submission. Estevam has been to decision in both of his fights. Bunes, both of his fights have finished. Against Van, he got knocked out in the second round, and he submitted Jose Johnson in the first. But you look at who Estevam's facing, it's like Charles Johnson is next level durable. Nobody's ever finished Charles Johnson, and I'm not sure anybody ever will. Like, that's the one thing I like about Charles Johnson is that durability. 7 losses, I believe. All 7 of them come by decision. And Jesus Aguilar is a black belt. Jesus Aguilar is extremely tough. And yeah, he wasn't able to finish Jesus Aguilar, right? Bunes has been finished. Bunes has been finished a couple times. He's been knocked out. He's been submitted a couple times. And, you know, we all talk about Estevam's cardio, which is not great. I think Bunes has even worse cardio. So with the 5-pound weight advantage, I think that heavily favors Estevam here. And he's minus 650, which is very wide. Very wide. But I think he probably does look minus 650, getting takedowns, getting on top. And I think he finishes Bunes at some point in this fight. So I like the fight doesn't go to decision. And I also like the fight ends by submission because Bunes has a 64% submission rate. He's going to be throwing up submissions. He's slick off his back. And Estevam, although he doesn't have a ton of submissions, he goes for him. He went for one against Charles Johnson. He went for a head and arm against Jesus Aguilar. He could absolutely submit Felipe Bunes here. So yeah, that's kind of the spots I'm looking at in this one. Very interested in this fight, but I think the cheater is probably going to get it done here. And sub at plus 300 has been a very popular bet. I am on it as well. And it just makes a lot of sense. Like, this fight's going to play out on the ground 95% of the time. Like, I don't see this fight taking place on the feet really at all. And both guys go for subs. Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Plus 300 is a pretty good number. Let's see. Brady, I need your help. I see Elizu Zaleski dos Santos money line at -160. I think that is a solid play. Thoughts? We'll get to that fight. I have some thoughts on that fight for sure. I think Zaleski dos Santos is being overlooked, or do the odds seem right? Yeah, I don't know who's betting on Neil Magny, quite frankly. I'll say that, but we'll get to it. There will be pipings and there will be milkings. Yeah, I believe the milking of the week is Rafael Estevam. I believe that's the milking of the week. And the piping of the week is Kevin Vallejos. Yeah. So hopefully the milking of the week comes through, and that is Rafael Estevam, who is good at milking for sure. That's what he does. He milks people. We got Dr. Peener saying Manel Cop is the biggest cheater around. Dude throws his claws like Wolverine, and they don't do shit because Dana likes it. I mean, anybody can cheat. I mean, we saw Saider Magomedov cheating last week, putting his toes in the cage for the entire 5 minutes. I mean, anybody can cheat. Remember when Jung Young Park got like kneed in the head against what's his face? Like you can knee people in the head. You can do whatever you want. We got Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. What is up, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, saying, let's get it tomorrow. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. And let's get it next week. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez is taking on Roman Dolidze in the main event for UFC Vegas 109. What a main event that is. Let's see if Anthony Fluffy Hernandez can get it done. All right, let's move on to the next fight. We have Rodolfo Vieira going against Tresean Gore. And yeah, nothing's really sticking out here. This is a weird fight for me. Gore as well missed weight, and Gore absolutely cheated. Because Gore's going to want to keep this fight on the feet, right? And yeah, that extra couple pounds might help him do that. And Gore's already a big, strong guy who has pretty good solid takedown defense already. So the weight advantage can't really hurt Gore. And it didn't look like he tried to get down to middle. I know he said he did. He tried to. No, he did it. I don't believe that. But yeah, I got to go with Vieira here. It's just I don't really ever like laying a chalky number on Vieira because I think I'm still scarred from the Anthony Hernandez fight years ago. But even some other fights like the Petrosky fight, that was a horrible look. My gosh. The Chris Curtis fight wasn't the best look. So yeah, I mean, if Vieira can't get down Tresean Gore, it could get interesting, but it's just hard for me to pick Tresean Gore really against anybody. Like, he has no volume, no urgency. I think his power is overrated, and he's a cheater. So yeah, it's a pass for me. I'm picking Vieira, but I actually wouldn't be shocked if Gore won this fight. Like, if Gore can stuff the takedowns, keep it standing, land some big shots. Like, Vieira got outstruck by Andre Petrosky of all people. So I actually think Gore's a live dog, but there's no way I'm betting on him. I'm not betting on Tresean Gore. He just doesn't do anything. Be the most frustrating bet ever. Like, he could lose a striking fight to Rodolfo Vieira. So yeah, this is a one big pass for me. Anthony Hernandez needs a closer up photo. I agree, because this is not close enough. Toes in the cage. Yeah, he put his toes in the cage. The entire third round was ridiculous. The two missing GBP mid-priced fights are going to make the DK GBP lineup construction nuts if there's no upsets. Yeah, it's a weird week for DK, man, just because we don't have much of a mid-range. We're missing the 83-79 matchup. We're missing the 82 8,000 matchup. So really the mid-range is that Polyaev Klein fight, which I think is very important. Carol Hosa Cornhole, which I think is a very sneaky fight. And then you have Rodriguez at 8,700, who I do like Rodriguez. But yeah, it's a very interesting card from a DraftKings perspective. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. We have Rinya Nakamura going against Nathan Fletcher. And yeah, I think if Nakamura didn't completely crap the bed in his last fight, he probably would be minus like 800 here. But he did. So he's only minus 400. But I just would be really surprised if Nakamura lost this fight because, you know, he has a clear path here. And the clear path is going to be to use that phenomenal wrestling. Use it, right? Use it. But he didn't in his last fight. He completely forgot how to wrestle. He's been wrestling probably since he was a young boy. For probably over 20 years, he's probably been wrestling. but he forgot against Moin Gafrov, forgot how to do it. So, but yeah, I mean, Nathan Fletcher, he got taken down like 6 times by Colin Loughran, got taken down by Con Offley. I mean, he lost 2 rounds in the tough house to Con Offley. That's a horrible look. If Con Offley's taking you down, Nakamura should be able to. And then if for some reason Nakamura forgets how to wrestle once more, I still think Nakamura wins in the striking. So, yeah, I just kind of think Nathan Fletcher's drawing dead a little bit. It's like, I don't think Fletcher's knocking out Nakamura. I don't think he's submitting Nakamura, and I just don't think he's winning a decision either. So, even if Nakamura craps the bed and this fight is a little bit closer than indicate, I still think Nakamura wins like a decision or something. So, yeah, I like Nakamura as a parlay piece. And it was hard to find any props because I could see Nakamura knocking out Fletcher. I could see Nakamura maybe submitting Fletcher. I could see Nakamura winning a decision. I think the decision's most likely because I don't think Nakamura is much of a finisher. Like, if you're not finishing Fernie Garcia and Carlos Vieira, I'm not sure you're going to be much of a finisher in the UFC. But yeah, I like Nakamura as a parlay piece. And there's been like a lot of weird outcomes lately, and Nakamura Gafrov was a very weird outcome to me. Nakamura was a massive favorite in that fight, and like I said, he forgot how to wrestle. And I don't know if it's an interview or a video clip this week of Nakamura, and he's talking about how he likes to gamble. He likes gambling. And it's like, oh, do you? Okay. Then your Gafrov performance is making a lot more sense now, Nakamura, because it looked like he bet on Gafrov in that fight. He didn't wrestle, and quite frankly, he didn't have any urgency in the striking either. So hopefully if he did bet on this fight, hopefully he's betting on himself here to win rather than betting on Nathan Fletcher as a juicy plus 305 underdog. So hopefully Nakamura gets to maybe cash a submission or knockout ticket for himself there. But hopefully he didn't bet on his opponent like he probably did in the Gafrov fight, is what it looked like to me at least. We got Brandon saying, love the Gore, Vieira over 1.5, minus 145. I don't love it, but I like it. But I could also see it just going very poor. Like, if Vieira is able to take down Gore, like he could sub him. But yeah, I do lean the over as well. Nakamura is a fraud. I'd bet Fletcher. I don't think he's a fraud. Do I think he's overrated? Yeah, I think he's a little bit overrated. I don't think he's I think he's very good. You know, the wrestling, the cardio, it's all great. Slick jiu-jitsu. And a lot of power on the feet. I think he is pretty good. The fight IQ kind of sucks, though. Or at least it did in the Gafrov fight. But, yeah, I think he's a good fighter. You're braver than me. Nakamura going to lay on him for half the fight. I can definitely see that. Nakamura also said he likes steaks in his inner. Yeah, that would make sense. Wouldn't be shocked if we saw Nakamura on a yacht somewhere after that Gafrov fight. That's for dang sure. All right, let's see here. All right, I'm checking some PFL. All right, Storley not looking good. All right, moving on to the next fight. We have Andre Polyaev going against Nick Klein. We have Polyaev minus 150, Nick Klein plus 130. The line for this one's weird. Like, it was a pick'em for the longest time. And then I think it was it Sunday or Monday? Was it Sunday? I think it might have been Sunday. Yeah. Like Sunday-ish. Polyaev went from a pick'em to like minus 150. And then the line stayed at minus 150 the entire week. So the line's been pretty much minus 150 Polyaev, plus 130 for Klein ever since like Sunday. So the line hasn't budged at all. So when I researched this fight and when I taped this fight, it was at a pick'em. It was about minus 110 each way. And first look, I'm like, man, I want to fade Polyaev. This guy's one of the worst fighters on the roster. I mean, this guy's awful. And then I taped Nick Klein. It's like, oh, gosh. I don't know about Nick Klein. I don't know. So I ended up passing. But as the week went on, like I said, you know, Polyaev became minus 150 and Klein became plus 130, plus 140. And once I saw that plus 140, I had to jump in on Klein. I just don't see where Polyaev is minus 160, minus 170 anywhere against Klein. Like, yeah, you favor Polyaev in the striking. He's big, he's tall, he's long, he's rangy, but he's low volume. Like, I feel like the striking could be closer than people think, just because Polyaev doesn't really throw much. I mean, he threw a lot against Liam Anderson, but Liam Anderson is just a walking punching bag. Have you guys ever seen one of those, like, they have the bobs, the punching? I have one in my workout room. They have the bob. That's Liam Anderson. He's a bob. He's a punching bag. But yeah, you favor Polyaev in the striking, I suppose, but it's like Klein has all the grappling upside. Polyaev can be taken down. Polyaev even got taken down by Liam Anderson a couple times. So yeah, Klein could probably get takedowns here. I think Klein has a lot of the finishing upside. It's hard for me to imagine Polyaev finishing really anybody at this level. So yeah, I had to take a shot on Klein. It's a disgusting fight. I'm not high on either one of these guys. But at plus 140, I'm willing to take the shot. You know, give me the guy with the grappling upside. Give me the guy with some finish upside. But yeah, I don't think either one of these guys are that great, to be honest. I think it should be closer to a pick'em personally, but we'll see. I think this fight's disgusting, and I don't see either one of these guys in the UFC for all that long. So does he like Wagyu, or is he cool with top sirloin? I don't know. I don't know, man. We'll have to ask him. We'll have to ask Nakamura. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Wish I'd checked PFL odds. Movlid was the underdog. 24-0 Russian who's like 10-0 on PFL, and they made him the underdog. Yeah, that's wild. I didn't look into it, but he didn't look like the underdog, that's for sure. He looked, minus 1,000 just about? He had one sketchy moment, at least that I saw. But yeah, that's crazy. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be Kevin Vallejos going against Danny Silva here. We have Kevin Vallejos minus 435. And we have, is the main event still going in PFL? Is it still going? Anyway, we got Vallejos minus 435, Danny Silva plus 135. I gotta go Vallejos here, but I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it at minus 435. Yeah, I don't like how much this guy's on Twitter, to be honest. Like, I don't like it. Like, being on Twitter 24/7 when it just never works out well. Like, I can't recall the last times a fighter's been on Twitter and tweeted as much as he did and had a lot of success in the UFC. It just doesn't happen. So I don't like that. Going forward, that's something to maybe mention. But here he should be fine. But, Danny Silva can definitely match the volume. I just think this fight's going to come down to the power. One of these guys has power, and that's Kevin Vallejos, and one of these guys just doesn't. Danny Silva's not a power guy. He's a volume guy, an attritional guy. So I think Vallejos lands the bigger shots, has the bigger moments, and either knocks out Silva or wins a decision. I'm leaning decision, but Silva is very hittable, and Vallejos does hit very hard. So a knockout wouldn't surprise me. So I ended up passing here, but I absolutely have to go with Vallejos to win the fight. Just nothing really sticking out. Fourth round, gee, I mean, dang, he's hanging in there, huh? Hanging in there. Yeah, there we go. I might finish the show by the time this fight. I mean, what's up with PFL and their pacing, man? Maybe I should have started the show at like 11. All right. Yeah, I think he's solid. I think he's solid. That Gene fella fights like Leon Edwards should, like he got a peen above his yams. Yeah, if Leon Edwards had some urgency, that'd be nice, but it's not his game. Never been a Leon Edwards fan. All right. Moving on to the next fight, we have Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos going against Neil Magny. We'll refresh the odds here. So money is pouring in on Neil Magny. Pouring in. Zaleski is now minus 157. Magny is plus 137. I made a tweet because I was curious. I said, who's betting on Neil Magny? And apparently a lot of people are. I was not expecting that, but a lot of people are betting on Neil Magny here. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't like it. I mean, I haven't been impressed with Neil Magny, and I don't know. Like maybe since the Robbie Lawler fight back in 2020, because since then he had that awful 5-round performance against Chiesa. He got dropped by Max Griffin, won a very close fight, could have went Max Griffin's way. Got subbed by Shavkat. He was losing against Daniel Rodriguez until Rodriguez gassed out, and Magny got the late finish there. I thought he lost against Phil Rowe, got a split there. Got submitted by Gilbert Burns, looked awful against Ian Gary. He was losing 4 minutes and 30 seconds, or 14 minutes and 30 seconds of the Malott fight until he gets a last-second knockout. Lost to Morales and Project. Yeah, he's losing to good guys, but even in some of his wins, it's like, I thought he lost the Rowe fight. I thought he lost the Griffin fight. And he was losing both the Malott and Rodriguez fight for most of those fights. It's like I haven't been impressed with Neil Magny in almost 6 years. I think he's like getting towards the end of his career to the max. I think he's like done. I don't like how he's reacting to shots. I don't like how he's reacting to leg kicks. He looks old and withered in there. Looks like he's going to tip over at any second. He can't grapple anymore. He can't take a punch anymore. All he can do these days is cage push. And could he cage push Dos Santos for 15 minutes? Maybe. That's his path. His path is some cage pushing. But if this fight's at distance, like, Dos Santos can knock him out. If this fight hits the ground at any point, Dos Santos can submit him. I just don't understand this line. So I'm on Dos Santos inside the distance, but if this line keeps coming in, like if I can get minus 150 on Dos Santos, I'm gonna be forced to bet him at minus 150. So I'm definitely going to monitor this line, because I didn't mind Dos Santos at like minus 200. I just think Magny's done. I think he's on his way out. I think he's absolutely on his way out. So we'll see. Maybe he can cage push for 50 minutes, which would be annoying, but he can do it. He did it against Phil Rowe, but like I said, I'm not sure he even won the Phil Rowe fight. I thought Phil Rowe won the fight. It was one of those fights where they looked exactly the same. They had like the same hairstyle and everything. I think the judges might have got them confused and gave the wrong fighter the win. So I don't know. I don't get it. Magny was up 2-0 versus D-Rod before the finish. Maybe. Was he actually? Yikes! That makes the Kevin Holland loss all that worse. No, it wasn't. D-Rod definitely won the second round. In the first round was I guess you can give the first round to Magny. D-Rod definitely won the second round. I thought. I think it was maybe 1-1 on my scorecard at least. I agree with most of your picks this week. Hopefully we bounce back. Yeah, I mean it can't be any worse than I'm never betting on an Abu Dhabi card ever again. It's not happening, because the last two Abu Dhabi cards have completely screwed me. There's been some weird stuff. Yeah, 1-1's fine. Yeah, 1-1's fine. But yeah, Abu Dhabi cards have screwed me. The last couple, there's been weird stuff. They had the paint gate where they painted the locker rooms in the last Abu Dhabi card, and then the last card last Saturday, just a lot of weird outcomes. Agreed, didn't mind Elias Zaleski dos Santos at minus 200 either. Insider information, I don't know. Somebody who bet on Neil Magny, let me know what you're seeing, because I really don't see it. Cage push? Like, I don't think Dos Santos is like a couple months older, but Dos Santos to me doesn't look washed. Like, he got knocked out by Chidi, but he hurt Chidi in that fight. He dropped him. He had a lot of good moments against Randy Brown. Almost submitted Randy Brown. He almost submitted Renat Fakhretdinov. He almost beat Renat Fakhretdinov. Like, I just can't. I'm looking at Elias Zaleski dos Santos. It's like he's not washed at all. I mean, yeah, I don't see one really performance where he looks washed to me. So whereas Neil Magny, there's like 10 performances where I'm like, this guy's kind of washed. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully more money keeps coming in on Neil Magny. I don't know. All right, let's move on to the next fight. We have Karol Hosa going against Nora Cornhole. We got Karol Hosa minus 180. Nora Cornhole sitting at plus 155. And yeah, nothing here. I think it's going to be a close fight. It shouldn't be a close fight, but it's a Karol Hosa fight. So what I think is going to happen is I think Karol Hosa is going to land more. She's going to land more volume, but Nora Cornhole is going to be the one coming forward, just being more aggressive. I think this has split written all over it. Are the judges going to favor the volume of Karol Hosa? Are they going to favor the willingness, the hard shots, the big shots of Cornhole? I don't know. Who knows what the crooked, corrupt judges are going to think. But yeah, dog or pass, but I really don't want to bet on this fight, to be honest. So I was looking at maybe like the Cornhole plus 3.5, but it's got to be just a disgusting line here. Cornhole plus 3.5. I'm gonna guess it's like minus 250. Let's see. Cornhole plus 3.5 is, I'm gonna say minus 250. Oh, minus 200. Okay, it's actually better than I thought it'd be. But still, if I lay minus 200 on that and the judges screwed it up, I'd be pretty pissed. I'm just gonna pass here. I'm just gonna pass on this one. All right, we'll move on to the next fight. We have Estevam Rivix going against Elvis Brener. And this line kind of surprised me just because I thought a lot more money would come in on Brener throughout the week. A lot of people like this guy. This guy is one of those guys who's a dog. He's a guy that's going to fight for your money. And I thought money would come in on Brener throughout the week, but it hasn't. It's kind of stayed around minus 250, minus 210 for the last several days. I like Rivix here. I'm going to look to maybe live bet Rivix after the first round because Rivix is a guy that can start a little bit slow. And it would not shock me if Brener actually went to the grappling. I actually think that'd be wise if Brener went to the grappling early. Because if he does, like, Rivix has no takedown defense. His takedown defense is a Kimura. So if Brener wants him down, he'll get him down. But yeah, as the fight goes on, I just think on the feet, I really don't think this is close at all. I don't think it's close at all. Like, I'm watching Brener in some of these fights. I went back and watched his debut against Tahuga. I thought he lost the Tahuga fight. In the Kudus-Taladze fight, I mean, he was getting his ass whooped for 2 rounds and then got the late finish. There was a great comeback from behind performance, but you know, he was getting whooped up on for the first 2 rounds. And then the losses to Alvarez and My Titty Back World Boy, we can't pin that against him too much because those are 2 very good fighters, right? But yeah, I don't know. I think on the feet, it's Rivix all day. This guy, Brenner's kind of a walking punching bag, 48% striking defense. He's a guy that's going to eat he's going to eat 3, actually. Eat 3 to give 1. Rivix is a very high volume striker, and he has power. And I went back and watched both the Hack Brass fight and Zellhuber fights, and it's like, man, if he's landing some of these big shots that he did on Hack Brass and Zellhuber, I think he might be able to actually finish Brener at some point in this fight. Could be attritional. As long as Jason Herzog's not in there. If Herzog's in there, this fight's going the distance. But I could see maybe like a Rivix late finish here. So yeah, I like Rivix maybe a live bet. And then I don't mind like some 2-3 KO sprinkles. I think they're going to be live. I think he's going to hit Brener in the face a lot. And we'll see if Brener goes down or not. He's a tough dude, but you can only get hit in the face hard so many times. So we'll see. Thaddy going to get paid? Yeah, he will get paid. Took a Brener by sub flyer. I don't think it hits. What is the sub prop for Brener? Because Brener actually has a ton of submissions on his record. 850 plus 850 best price. I mean, he absolutely should grapple. I mean, that should, if you're Brener, that should be the game plan because Rivix cannot stuff a takedown to save his life. I don't hate it, but I'm not sure he's gonna attempt takedowns as much as he should. Brener a sub flyer is solid. Yeah, I don't hate it. I think this has Fight of the Night written all over 100%. Esteban TKO round 2. Yeah, I think a 2-3 is live, like an attritional, just like beating him up until he finds the chin. What's up, Brady? Who's getting piped on site on this card? What's up, Samuel? Good to see you in here. Who's getting piped on site? I don't think there's going to be a lot of piping. Next week's a different story. Next week, there's a ton of pipings. Austin Bashi's going to milk Giannis. He's going to milk him and sub him. Estevam's probably going to milk Bunes, milk him and sub him. Nakamura, maybe. I don't know, man. I don't see many pipings. Vallejo's could pipe Silva. I think Dos Santos could pipe Magny. I don't know. I don't see a ton of pipings on this card, to be honest. I don't see a lot of pipings. All right. Let's keep moving on to the next fight. We have the co-main event. Mateus Rebecki going against Chris Duncan. And I took a money line shot on Rebecki at minus 200. Yeah, I just think it's a good matchup for him. Like, I feel like Rebecki's just pretty much better everywhere. I think he's the better striker, both minute winning and moment winning. I think he's the better wrestler. I think he's the better grappler. But Duncan has pulled out a rabbit out of his hat twice in a row. 2 back-to-back guillotine wins. The Balaji Oki fight, he was getting pieced up pretty bad on the feet. Balaji Oki shoots in for a takedown, and he got his neck snatched up. And then he looked really good against Jordan Vucenic, and then Vucenic shot in and got his neck snatched up. So, yeah, Duncan definitely has a good guillotine, but I'm just not convinced he's going to guillotine Rebecki. I'm not convinced he's going to knock out Rebecki either. Like, Rebecki's been knocked out twice, but Duncan really hasn't knocked anybody out since his Contender Series fight. So, yeah, I just kind of think Rebecki's going to do the better work both on the feet and on the mat. I think he's going to attack the legs of Duncan, land more volume, land clean, land hard, land big, and then mix in the occasional takedown. So maybe Duncan can hurt him on the feet. I kind of think that's his path, is maybe hurting Rebecki with a big shot. But Rebecki's a tough dude. So I think Rebecki wins this fight. I think he can win it by any method, too. I think it could be knockout. I think it could be decision. I think it could be submission. So I just took the money line there. Gatekeeper MF and belt. Who's a gatekeeper? Who's a gatekeeper? People are calling Magny a gatekeeper, which makes sense. Not enough pipings. I agree. There's not enough pipings. But next week for UFC Vegas 1, I'll give you guys a quick preview. You want to see some pipings. Uros Medic is going to pipe Gilbert Urbina on site next week. Elijah Smith is going to pipe Toshiami Kazama next week. Julius Walker is going to pipe Rafael Cerqueira on site next week. Those are 3 pipings right there. Brutal pipings. Medic with a brutal piping. Smith with a brutal piping. And Walk. I mean, if you're a fan of pipings, you're going to be a fan of UFC Vegas 109. I really enjoyed looking into the card next week. I'm going to have a fair amount of action next week for sure. Yeah, why not? Future piping parlay. Put him in there. I'll definitely have some action on that Julius Walker fight, and there's some spots sticking out. Got to wait for props though. All right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he is. I laughed when I saw they get he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be in the UFC, but they're giving him another shot. Yeah, some brutal pipings. I had a dream that Trayshawn Gore piped Vieira on site, so I tossed a half unit on. I do think Gore's live. I just could never personally bet on that guy. But it's just a weird fight to me. That Vieira Gore fight's a weird fight to me. Something must be going on because Rafael Cerqueira, it has to be probably the worst fighter to step foot into the UFC. I can't think of a close second. Can you guys think of a close second? I mean, we could say like I don't know. We could say Mike Jackson, but Mike Jackson has a UFC win. I can't think of a close second. But yeah, I'm on the Rebecki money line. And we'll move on to the main event. Tatsuro Taira going against Hong Sung Park. And yeah, I like Tatsuro here quite a bit. I actually think the line could even be wider here. And it's not like Park's not a bad fighter. He's not a bad fighter. But this is one of the biggest steps up in competition I think I've ever seen in my entire life. You go from a guy like Carlos Hernandez is his best win. Carlos Hernandez, Sung Guk Choi, and Shannon Ross to Tatsuro Taira. That's a pretty big step up. Massive step up in competition. So, and yeah, it's like Park is like struggling against like Sung Guk Choi. You know, like he's struggling at in moments against Sung Guk Choi. Like that fight was competitive the first 10 minutes. He was very competitive with Shannon. And that Shannon Ross second round was like competitive in the striking up until he hurt Shannon Ross. And then he went out there against Carlos, and it was his best performance, but Carlos Hernandez got cut. And I believe Shannon Ross got cut. And I believe Sung Guk Choi was kind of like a one and done thing. So yeah, if he beats Tatsuro Taira, hats off to him, but that would be just incredible. That'd be an incredible win. A big upset in my opinion. So I like Taira here. I like him as a parlay piece. I like him inside the distance. Park was preparing for a 3-round fight against Steve Erceg next week. Now all of a sudden he's in a 5-round fight. And Park's only seen a 3rd round once. And that fight finished. So he's never seen a 4th round, never seen a 5th round. Only seen a 3rd round once. He's a finisher. And yeah, on the feet, I think it's going to be competitive for sure. But when this fight hits the ground, that's where I think we're just going to see a big levels gap in the grappling. And Park's a good grappler, don't get me wrong. But I think Taira is just on another level there. So yeah, Taira for me. Taira inside the distance. Taira as a parlay piece. If Park pulls this off, there's been a lot of surprises these last week and a half. But this would be another surprise to me. There's been a lot of surprises the last week and a half. Carlos Leal losing to 90-year-old Muslim Salikov. Kevin Holland losing to Daniel Rodriguez. There's been some serious shocking outcomes, and this would be another one. So maybe the trend continues, but I don't know. Charlie Ontiveros. Yeah, but Charlie Ontiveros, he did drop Steve Garcia 3 times with that axe kick. He did have a very good axe kick. We got to get Charlie Ontiveros back in the UFC. We got to get him back in there. Yeah. Muhammad Yahya. By the way, I can't believe Trevor Peek wasn't able to finish Muhammad Yahya. Muhammad Yahya has been finished, I think, 5 times out of his 6 losses. The only person that wasn't able to finish him was Trevor Peek. But Yahya is bad, for sure. Quick question. How do you feel about Rosa over 78.5 significant strikes? I like that quite a bit. I like it quite a bit. Let's see. Rosa's landing about 6 significant strikes per minute. So if she does her average, if she does just her average, she's landing 93.3 over 15 minutes. But I actually think she could land more than that because Cornhole's going to come forward and Cornhole's very hittable. So I actually love that quite a bit. Yeah, I don't hate the TKO shot. What is the TKO? The KO. Because Park's been hurt on the feet before and dropped. Of course, subs most likely. Yeah, KO plus 650. It's not bad. I would just take the inside the distance. I was actually surprised to see Taira inside the distance is plus money on some books. Free Dumas. I mean, he's free. Dumas is free. And I think he's fighting again soon. I think Dumas is actually fighting again in the very near future, believe it or not. Feel like Taira would go under 17 minutes. I'd say so. It could be an early sub, or it could be like a sub when Park starts to slow down. I'm not really sure when it happens. It could be like a 3-4-5 sub, but it also wouldn't shock me if Taira got to Park, got his back, and did it quickly. But I kind of lean towards later in the fight. There's no way Magny wins. I'll tell you what, a lot of people disagree with that statement. Money pouring in on one Neil Magny. And I might have to get involved if money keeps pouring in on Neil Magny. I've been trying to think of good cornhole jokes, but I can't. We need to group workshop it. I'll try to think of something over the rest of the night and maybe come up with something tomorrow. Magny is just a steaming pile of dog shit. I mean, I wouldn't go that. That's kind of a little too far, but I do like Eliza Zaleski there in that fight. Love the fight is a good decision in the main event. Yep, me as well. It's minus 155, best price. I like it. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it finishes. If UFC made an Unk card, he put it on it. We got to put Magny on it. We got to put Magny on the Unk card. Let's put D-Rod. D-Rod on the Unk card. There's a lot. We'll find some. That'd be fun. D-Rod Magny comes to mind as of, I don't know. Max Griffin's up there, right? Even like Chris Curtis is 38. Max Griffin's 39. Who else is up there? Stephen Thompson is like 40. So we put Stephen Thompson on the card. Cornhole beat my beloved Jocelyn. I mean, Cornhole lost to Jocelyn Edwards. I just watched that fight today. She lost to Jocelyn Edwards, but they gave the fight to Cornhole, and nobody seemed to care because it was like I think the first fight of the night, but it was a bad decision. All right, that's gonna do it. Rapid fire recap. Bashi sub, no excuse for losing to John Giannis. No excuse for not finishing John Giannis. I think Rodriguez should roll. Don't like anything from a betting perspective. I like violence in the Estevam Bunes fight. More specifically, it ends by sub. Passing on Vieira Gore. It's a weird fight. I'm actually looking forward to watching it, but not betting it. Nakamura should roll, absolutely, as long as he does not bet on his opponent again. Klein, I think, is a live dog for sure. Vallejo should win, but I don't love the money line. I like Dos Santos. Going to monitor the line throughout the night. We'll see if more money keeps coming in on Neil Magny. I think Hosa, Cornhole's a close fight, split decision. Don't want to get involved. Crooked, corrupt judges. Rivix, maybe a live bet after 1, 2, 3 props live. Rebecki, I like Rebecki, but Duncan's been finding a way. We'll see if he can continue that. And then I think Taira should roll in the main event. Bashi of max. I wouldn't max it because he could also like TKO him, which would be so annoying. I think subs most likely, but you don't want to max it, Yeah, they do suck for sure. Things I would do to her. What? All right, I got to get out of here after that. Best of luck, everybody, for UFC Vegas 108. We'll be back on Sunday with Uncle Weezy. We got Stat Diggers, and I'm gonna try to bring on a very special guest for the Stat Digger show. I'm gonna try to get him on just for like a quick second, but maybe a special guest for Sunday show. We'll see. And then, I think next week's gonna be fun as well. All right, guys, best of luck, everybody. We'll talk to you soon and see you later. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. See you guys soon. Bye.